This season of the LCS has a completely different feel to it, a kind of reset. With the shift of the LTA structure back into the LCS environment, we're seeing a lot of players who have spent years grinding in challengers finally step into the spotlight. Teams didn't just recycle their rosters this offseason. Some went all in on rookies, others doubled down on their proven veterans, and a few rebuilt specifically to compete for a title instead of settling for the middle of the standings. There's new blood, pressure on the old guard, and a league that genuinely feels like it could flip depending on who adapts first, and that level of uncertainty usually leads to one thing: a much more entertaining split. So let's break down the rookies, the top teams, the veterans, and the rivals that will be shaping this 2026 LCS season into the most entertaining we have ever seen. This rookie class is one of the most promising we've seen in years, not because of the hype, but because every single one of them already looks competitive. These aren't just rookies looking to simply fill in a slot, they're looking to take them. First, we have Kryra, the jungler for Disguised, a mechanically gifted rookie jungler entering with a massive champion pool and a decisive early game. Kryra doesn't wait for perfect setups. He creates pressure, forces fights, and sets the tempo. He raises his teammates to his level, and Disguised built part of their identity around this kind of confidence. Next, we have the ADC for Disguised, Sajed. Sajed is a calm and reliable marksman who dominated NA's developmental scene. Sajed's spacing, decision-making, and his consistency separate him from most of the rookies. He doesn't panic, he doesn't overextend, and he rarely loses his lane outright. For a first-time LCS ADC, this is rare. For FlyQuest in the support role, we have Cryogen. Cryogen is a true playmaking support with strong instincts for timing, roams, and engages. He has that kind of proactive mindset that FlyQuest loves and most NA supports don't have, someone who can turn neutral situations into winning ones. When he's on form, he controls the pace of the entire map. In the top lane for FlyQuest, we have Gatgos, the youngest player in the league and already showing no fear. Gatgos is aggressive in lane, trades confidently, and embraces the pressure. What we saw from him in the LTA was pure dominance. He's not a placeholder, he's a long-term investment with real potential right now. For the jungle for FlyQuest, we have Griffin. A true carry-style jungler with experience in Korea and Brazil, Griffin loves to invade, scrap, and take over every early fight. He brings a level of tempo that FlyQuest leans into heavily. In this upcoming split, he's not going to be afraid to challenge the veterans head-on. In the mid lane for Shopify, we have Zynie. Zynie is going to be one of the most impactful rookie mids NA has ever brought in. Zynie is a high-damage, high-pressure mid laner who can actually carry games. He has one of the most unique champion pools out of any mid laner we have ever seen, and Shopify didn't just bring him in to develop slowly, they brought him in to raise their ceiling immediately. And in the top lane for Lion, we have Zamudo, a standout rookie top laner with a surprisingly deep champion pool and the confidence to own his own identity. Zamudo doesn't just play the meta, he plays what gives him agency on the map. If he can adapt quickly, he can become a major advantage for Lion. This group of rookies is fearless. None of them are here just to gain experience in the league. They're here to challenge the veterans and take their spots. When you watch hunger and talent meet and push against the old guard, that's when the league becomes the most fun to watch. When you look across the league, a few teams immediately position themselves as contenders, not because of the hype, but because of how they built their rosters. With Team Liquid, we have a rebuild with purpose. Team Liquid rebuilt with direction. They added aggressive solo lanes, a proactive jungle presence, and a strong veteran leadership. This roster is flexible, explosive, and capable of shifting strategies depending on their matchup. With a fully rebuilt bot side in their same core bot lane, they're here to contest the top and to go to internationals. With this year, we might be seeing a return of the 2019 super era for Team Liquid. With Lion, we have star power and structure combined. Lion enters the season looking like a true title contender. Picking up Inspired and keeping Saint, they'll dominate the early game and mid lane. Zamudo adds unpredictability in the top, and Berserker gives them one of the most reliable late-game carries in the entire region. They have the star power and the stability to take on any of the teams in the league. With Shopify Rebellion, we have the dark horse. Shopify kept their structure and upgraded the one position they needed most, mid lane. With Zynie added to the roster featuring Fudge, Contracts, Bavoy, and Seos, Shopify suddenly becomes one of the most well-rounded teams in the league. Stable early game, strong laning, and a true carry threat for the mid lane. This year, they aren't just a playoff contender, they're a championship title contender. With Cloud9, we have another veteran superstar lineup. Cloud9 is the most experienced core team in the league. With Thanatos top, Blabber jungle, Sven and Vulcan in the bot lane, all built around years of synergy and competitive success, and with APA stepping into the mid, Cloud9 has the experience to stay at the top and the flexibility to adapt quickly. Maybe this will be the year that a super team actually takes off. With FlyQuest, we have a rookie experiment. This entire team is built around their rookie firepower. FlyQuest will lean into aggression, tempo, and a little bit of fearlessness from its players. If Griffin, Gatghost, and Cryogen can stabilize the early game, this roster has legitimate upset potential against any of the league's teams. Disguise built their roster around imports, Castle in the top lane, and a lineup of rookies. This is a roster of high mechanics and no hesitation playmaking. Disguised might not be a consistent organization yet, but when they hit their stride, they may be able to even surprise the top teams. Dignitas is going to be the gatekeepers for last place once again. They aren't the title favorite, but they're strong enough to take games off of any of the top teams in the league. Their veteran players, if they can find their identity, could be a real threat for the bottom 4 teams in the league. In the new roster, Sentinels are going to have ambition from day one. Sentinels arrive in the LCS with a roster meant to compete immediately. With Impact in the top lane bringing the stability and leadership, Darkwings brings the flexibility and playmaking of a new hungry mid laner, and they have a strong carry bot side potential with Rahel and Huhi. This roster wasn't meant to make a quiet entry into the league, it's built to win a title. And while the rookies add excitement into the league, the veterans will still set the standard for the LCS. Each of these players will enter into the season with something to prove and a spot to protect. First, we have Sentinel's Impact. Impact's value goes beyond laning. His experience in pressure situations, his teamfight discipline, and his ability to anchor weak side lanes make him one of the most trusted top laners to ever play in North America. On Sentinels, his job is going to be to study the map and guide a team filled with ambition and new players. Next, we have Sentinels Huhi. Huhi remains one of the best roaming and timing-based supports in the league. He always builds amazing synergy with his junglers, and his ability to set the tempo for the game and his deep knowledge makes him crucial for the Sentinels roster success. Next, we have Team Liquid's CoreJJ. CoreJJ's presence transforms teams. His experience gives him the understanding of vision, spacing, engage timing, and late game setups, and it's unmatched. Even with a rebuilt roster around him, CoreJJ remains one of the most impactful players in the LCS this year. Then we have Sven from Cloud9. Sven brings adaptability, leadership, and firepower. Whether he's on hyper carries, utility picks, or a flexible bot lane, he remains one of the smartest players in the league. He has great synergy with Vulcan and gives C9 a stable foundation in the bot lane. My GOAT and favorite player, we have Fudge from Shopify. Fudge anchors Shopify's topside with experience and reliability. He rarely falls behind in his games, and he communicates well and brings that carry potential when the team needs it. Shopify's playoff hopes as a roster relies heavily on his consistency in the game. The last veteran we have is Inspired from Lion. Inspired is the highest IQ jungler in the West. He controls everything in the game. His early pathing, he dictates tempo and elevates the lanes around him. On Lion, he's going to be the piece that gives structure to a roster filled with carry threats. These veterans aren't here to simply fade out. They're competing for their legacies, and every rookie entering the league has to earn their respect by taking games off them. If some of them don't step up this year, they're not going to be having a spot come negotiations next year. This is going to be a year of rivalries to watch. So many teams threw the bag out and invested in championship winning rosters to win that sweet international seed for MSI and Worlds. With all of that money thrown out and the prestige on the line for representing NA in NA this year at Worlds, there's a lot of rivalries for that top spot. Team Liquid and Lion are going to be a clash of championship contenders. Team Liquid's team brings structure and discipline, while Lion brings star power and explosiveness. Every match between these two teams is going to feel like a preview of what the finals is going to look like. Cloud9 versus FlyQuest is going to be a battle of experience versus youth. It's going to be C9's veteran synergy against FlyQuest's aggressive rookie lineup. Whoever wins these games is going to set the tone for their own team's identity this season. Disguise and Dignitas is going to be a rebuilt roster versus the bottom 4 gatekeeper. Disguise wants to announce themselves as a real threat and a real contender this year. Dignitas is ready to humble anyone who is not prepared. Sentinels and Shopify Rebellion is a debut org with ambition against the returning roster rebuilt to compete for titles. Sentinels is coming in wanting to prove that they belong in this league. Shopify is going to prove that they're way above them. So that's the landscape heading into the 2026 season. We have a rookie class with real potential, veteran stars defending their place, contender teams built with intention, and rivalries that already feel heated before the game is even played. If you like safe, predictable league, this is not going to be the split for you. But if you want volatility, breakout performances, momentum swings, and real competition, this is the season to tune in. Drop a like, subscribe, and tell me which matchup you're most excited for. Check out botdiff.lol for all of the in-depth roster information. Thank you.